Well, I'll be damned. He really doesn't give a damn about the majority of his voters. The Trump administration plans to cut Social Security disability benefits, covertly, secretly. They're supposed to roll this out in December. Here are the changes that are going to hurt low-income working class people.
Hey Special Family, welcome back to another Fairies Reaction video. Apparently, our favorite administration plans to covertly cut Social Security disability benefits once again. And yeah, it ain't pretty. Let's take a look at that.
Well, I'll be damned. He really doesn't give a damn about the majority of his voters. The Trump administration plans to cut Social Security disability benefits, covertly, secretly. They're supposed to roll this out in December. Here are the changes that are going to hurt low-income working class people and those that are already on disability. They're going to rewrite the disability eligibility rules. They're basically going to upgrade the program in a way that will make it harder for aging blue-collar workers, you know, the ones that voted for him, to get benefits. Then they're going to propose a regulation that will eliminate or sharply cut the supplemental security income benefits of roughly 400,000 poor and disabled people. But in its current form, the regulation would slash at least 830,000 people eligibility for disability benefits. So over 10 years, that's 1.5 million people who could lose their eligibility. The 5 states that rely on these benefits the most who will be affected by this: Arkansas, Kentucky, West Virginia, Mississippi, and Alabama. Those states, they don't have their own disability insurance program like California and New York. Those states all went to Trump. What a way to tell your voters to kiss your ass.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
What do you think about Trump rewriting the eligibility rules for disability benefits?
Well, it's on track for the Trump administration's continued plan to take money from the 99% and funnel it into the 1%.
What changes are they making?
There's 2 primary changes that are being proposed. The first is to basically remove age as a factor when considering disability. What that means is that right now, if you apply for disability and you're, say, 55 years old, you're more likely to be approved for disability than if you were 25 years old. The Trump administration is basically saying that, quote, they don't think that being 50 is a disability, and so they want to remove that consideration. And then the other change that they're making is that they are expanding the number of jobs that you have to be ineligible for in order to qualify for disability. So previously, for example, if you couldn't do, let's say, manual labor jobs and perhaps some other subset, you could qualify for disability because you can't get work. The Trump administration wants to expand those types of jobs to also include things like desk jobs or perhaps being a driver for DoorDash or other types of jobs like that that are not so manual labor focused. And what that essentially means is that it will be harder for people to qualify for disability if the administration can make an argument that you could do one of those types of jobs when previously those types of jobs were not considered. And what this means is that as a whole, you know, regardless of what you think about those actual changes, the people who are going to be disproportionately affected by this are people over the age of 50 who have worked manual labor jobs and have low education, or another way to put that is Trump voters, right? Because what they're doing is they're taking people that may be disabled because they've spent their lives working hard manual labor jobs like construction or manufacturing and other things like that. These same people, you know, wouldn't qualify for a desk job that are reliant on technology and are likely to be older because of the age restrictions, and they are removing disability from these people. So the Trump administration is essentially proposing that its own voters should no longer qualify for disability. This is likely to impact Trump states the most. States like West Virginia, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama are the ones that are going to be hardest hit. And we're looking at potentially tens of thousands, if not more people being removed from disability as a result of these changes. Now, these changes are not yet in place. They are currently being drafted and will not be officially proposed until probably December. But when you combine that with the Trump administration's track record of trying to remove access to Medicaid, Social Security, SNAP benefits most recently with the government shutdown, and other social safety nets like that, it's just part of their continued plan to disenfranchise anybody who is not a rich white American and to funnel whatever is left of our economy further into the hands of billionaires and Trump's friends.
Unfortunately, Trump is coming for your disability next. This is an exclusive from the Washington Post with inside anonymous sources. I guess Trump has not figured out how to stop his leaking problem. And I can guarantee that's because there are people within his administration that are genuinely concerned about the things that he is doing because it's going to affect millions of Americans. So apparently his administration has a plan to make it more difficult for Americans to qualify for Social Security disability payments. Right now, when someone applies for disability payments, they are evaluated by their age, by their work experience, and by their education to see if there might be other ways to keep them in the workforce. And also, as of right now, if you are over 50, you have a better chance of actually receiving disability because it's more difficult for people over 50 to find jobs. Apparently now they're considering either raising the age requirement to 60 years old or eliminating age entirely as a factor. But they're also going to be modernizing their database of jobs, and because a lot of work now exists online, a lot of people are going to get denied for these claims. The new rules also may kick people who currently have disability back off disability, including widows and children who are receiving the benefits due to the loss of a spouse or a parent who may become ineligible with these new rules. If age is eliminated as a factor entirely, then more disabled workers are probably going to retire early, which will significantly reduce the amount of their monthly benefit. Older workers who claim retirement benefits at age 62 rather than receive Social Security's disability insurance would receive 30% less in benefits for the rest of their lives. I'm so sorry, but this entire administration is nothing but a cash grab for billionaires. It is literally just a violent transfer of power and wealth.
Breaking news, disabled Americans can breathe a collective sigh of relief tonight. The Trump administration is backing away from the proposal that would have taken age out of the disability rules, a change that could have cost hundreds of thousands of older Americans their disability benefits. Now, according to a report in the Washington Post and summarized by Newsweek and several other publications, top officials, including the Commissioner of Social Security, have confirmed that the plan is not moving forward. That proposal would have made it significantly harder for people over the age of 50 to qualify for SSDI and SSI by removing the age-based protections built into Social Security's disability system. If it had taken effect, the Urban Institute estimated that 750,000 fewer people would receive benefits over the next decade. 80,000 widows and children would lose eligibility because a spouse or parent would no longer be qualified. That was going to be an $82 billion cut in benefits, but for now, that threat is off the table. The rule is not going to advance through the federal process. The agency says that any future updates will go through the normal public comment period, and the White House says it hasn't even seen any proposals. So what does this mean for you? It means that the current disability rules, including the age-based protections for people over 50 and 55, remain intact. No change to eligibility, no sudden loss of benefits, and no fast-tracked cuts. But let me be clear, this entire episode is a reminder of how fragile these protections are. One proposal, even one that didn't move forward, could have reshaped disability access for an entire generation. And if you're over 50 and thinking about applying, moments like this should be a wake-up call. If you're over 50 and considering applying for disability, don't wait for the next proposal to catch you off guard. Message me or click the link in my profile. Let's talk about getting your claim started while the current rules still protect you.
Let me know in the comment section what your 2 cents is on this situation, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.